what's up, everybody? Welcome to the first installment of the Pan-Africanism Strikes Back. I want to take this opportunity to explain. I want to take Greetings, everybody, and welcome to the show. We are officially in a new era of political volatility. A high-ranking official just admitted or confirmed that a targeted plot to enter into the White House Correspondents' Dinner was indeed an attempt to assassinate President Donald Trump. And the details coming out of this investigation are absolutely disturbing. But we have a couple of different topics that we're going to address today, not just that. And let me be the first to welcome you in. Let me thank you for joining the channel and encourage you to stay throughout. So first, we're going to talk about the updates for the would-be assassin, Cole Thomas Allen, who attempted to assassinate President Donald Trump at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. And then we're going to talk about the Louisiana governor who has officially had enough, and he issued a blistering rebuke of YN culture, the parents who raised the YNs, and the legal apparatus of Louisiana that he says enables the YNs to carry out violent, heinous acts against law-abiding citizens. After that, we got a little bit of celebrity tea for you. Trouble in paradise, apparently, as Megan Thee Stallion took to social media to blast Klay Thompson for allegedly cheating on her, and Klay coming back at Meg saying, "You cheated on me first." The internet is scrambling to figure out who's telling the truth, who's lying, or whether they both just, ain't much to write home about when it comes to relationships. We're not going to do any fluff. We're not going to do any spin. I'm just giving you the facts as I have researched them and found them to be. And the things you need to know to stay up to date and ahead of the curve when it comes to this world that we're living in. This is a breakdown, and we're diving in right now. Okay, so as we know, the manifesto is out. Cole Thomas Allen has basically told us that he sought to kill the president in defense of women, children, and anyone who has been a victim of the men who are part of this Trump regime. He focused on political targets. He said he was trying to get rid of Trump administration officials, all except for Kash Patel. And it's being investigated as to why Kash Patel wasn't someone who was on his hit list, right? But, last night I did a show, and in that show I talked about something that was really concerning about this Cole Thomas Allen character. He's a 26-year-old man who wrote a manifesto explaining why he wanted to kill the president. But when he wrote his manifesto, all of his reasons for why he wanted to kill the president seemed to be nothing more than social media and mainstream media propaganda. So I had to like kind of do a double take because I'm like, you ain't telling me that this young black man then got so radicalized off of social media and mainstream media that he was willing to catch a train to Washington from California to try to kill the president. His logic is completely fractured. Now you might say, we hear the word defending pedophiles, etc. I mean, fighting pedophilia, and in a truly hypocritical fashion, we're just like, yeah, he's doing the right thing. He's going against pedophiles. But guys, you gotta like learn how to read between the lines and see the things that aren't sitting right on the surface. The guy says he was focused on political targets, right? While ignoring proven threats to women and children right in his own backyard. There are actual predators in the state of California, real dangers on the very streets he lives on, but he's been brainwashed by a screen, by a cell phone, to look everywhere except for where it matters the most. You can't defend or make things better in any place until you fix home, right? That's the logic, right? You got to fix your own backyard before you go into others' backyard to try to straighten things out. That's the logic, right? And look at his allies now. He was fed a steady diet of radical propaganda by Democrat politicians, white liberal Karens, who told him the world was ending. But the moment he acted on the rhetoric that they indoctrinated him with, they dropped him like a bad habit. As the saying goes, the revolution always eats its own. They used his mind as a weapon, and now they've disposed of the shell. They just threw him away. You don't see GoFundMe's being started for Cole. You don't see these people at his court dates. You don't see all these radicalized attorneys and these activist politicians and stuff. You don't see them saying that they're going to go down to the courthouse and defend Cole pro bono. Oh, he's deranged. He's a lunatic. He's crazy. But no one takes the time to say, okay, he is deranged. He is crazy. But how did he get that way? He didn't come out of his mother's womb that way. He didn't just wake up one day and decide, hey, I'm going to throw my life away as a mechanical engineer, as a computer scientist, just for shits and giggles. No. The conclusions that Cole was arriving at came from somewhere. The narrative came from somewhere. And that's what I believe needs to be addressed. But the reality is, here's the thing. I want to break this down in the simplest terms for everybody. You went to Cole, and Cole, you'll never see this, but let's just say they give you TV or YouTube in your prison cell. I'm talking to Cole right now, guys. Cole, son, and I'm not that much older than him. Well, I'm older than him, but I can't be his daddy. But I'm going to call him son anyway. Son, you traveled from California to Washington, D.C. in an attempt to assassinate the president, who you believe, with no evidence and no proof, to be a pedophile and a rapist. While Eric Swalwell, a man who just ended his campaign to become governor of California, a man who sits on the California state legislature, has literally been accused with evidence of sexually assaulting, drugging, and raping women. And it's not just an accusation. These women have video evidence. They have photo evidence where he has sent his genitalia to his own clerks who are working for him. A woman has video of him dragging her into a hotel limp where she can't even I don't know if she has video, but a woman has said that he drugged her on the way to a campaign event and took her upstairs to a hotel room and raped her. And it's not just one woman, it's multiple women who he assaulted, raped, and then there are dozens of other Sacramento insiders who have come out saying that he has a reputation of doing these things. So you want to go kill Trump, but you couldn't deal with Swalwell, who's right in your own backyard. You have senators like Anthony Weiner, they're California senators, and all they do is write up and attempt to pass legislation that reduces reduces the penalty for people who commit crimes against children. The entire California state legislature blocked a bill written up by California Republicans that would increase the penalty for people who attempted to purchase minors for sex, right? The California Democrats blocked a bill that would have increased the penalty for people who attempt to purchase minors for sex. And they fought for a year to get this bill passed. And every Democrat in the California state legislature blocked it. They voted against it. My brother, Cole, you're a hypocrite. You threw your life away based on utter hypocrisy. You claim to be doing it for the women and the defenseless children, but you weren't man enough to address the people in your own state who are working every day to make our women and children in this state more vulnerable. You're a hypocrite, my brother. You didn't do it because of the children or the women. You did it because you've been radicalized against Donald Trump and the Republican Party by liberal propaganda. And now, because you lived, you will have to sit in a prison cell and come to terms with that however you can. Now, I'm not blaming Cole 100% for what's happening to him. I'm not blaming Cole 100%. Because as a community, and in this case, I'm talking about black folks, we have to look in the mirror. The black community is failing our youth because we have zero messaging campaigns to counter this brainwashing. We have no resources to shield our children from being weaponized by people who don't give a damn about them. If we don't create our own narrative, we are effectively handing over the minds of our children to a machine that only wants to turn them into martyrs or inmates or both. We got to do better. We have to do better. There was no resource to counteract the brainwashing that young men, a genius. Cole Thomas Allen is a genius. There is no resource to counteract the propaganda and brainwashing that is turning our kids into radicalized insurgents. And that's our fault. This boy grew up in a house with his mama and his daddy. And no one noticed that he was going crazy. His sister said that he would call her and talk about how he had to do something about what's going on in the world with Trump and all the accusations that were made. But if his sister cared about him, she would have said, hey, Cole, here's the thing. You got people who are proven predators right in the state you're in. Why don't you work to get those guys out of office? Because it doesn't matter what you say. At this point, based on the law, no one has proof that Donald Trump did anything. Now, you may say that there's proof in the Epstein files. There are people who will dispute that. There are people who will say, hey, if there was anything in the Epstein files, the Democrat politicians who have read the Epstein files in their entirety would have found the parts accusing Trump, redacted everything, and just released the parts where Trump is being accused. We know that's how these people work. I mean, they brought this guy up on charges over a filing mistake for his first taxes. they found him liable for sexual assault against a woman just off of hearsay. She didn't have any proof. She just said, hey, Trump assaulted me in a dressing room at this prominent clothing store. There's no proof of it, but they took her word for it. So you're telling me that if they had actual hard evidence that Trump did something in the Epstein files, they wouldn't have redacted everything. This is something that happens every day all over the country in courtrooms. They'll redact everything else, and they'll only show the part that that incriminates that person. My mind says they ain't got nothing, because if they did, we would have saw it when Joe Biden's campaign was floundering. We would have saw it when he was moving ahead of Kamala Harris in the polls. We would have saw it when when he was threatening to expose different politicians. You would have saw it by now. And I think everybody has enough common sense to understand that. Now, so that leads to this fact. We don't have proof that Trump was ever on Epstein Island. We don't have proof that Trump ever assaulted or did anything to any women that were that were victims of Epstein. And we don't have any proof or evidence that he did anything to children. Now, maybe something will come out in the Epstein files, right? But we don't have proof of that. I see people even in the comments, they're like, Trump's a pedophile. Yeah, you could say that all day, but do you have proof of it? You don't. That's the facts. And that's what we do here on this channel. We examine the facts. And the more facts that come out, we examine those facts. We have to give our people a place to land and get information, right? Where they don't have to worry about being blindsided and brainwashed with unproven propaganda. That is what we didn't give Cole Thomas Allen, because everywhere he looks to find factual information, it is being bombarded with accusations and allegations that where there's no evidence to back them up. That's why it's very important to me to create a channel like this one, because even the strongest bird needs to have a place to land. Even the strongest man needs to have a place to lay down and rest. You can't just go forever without any source of abject truth, right? Facts over feelings. And we used to, in our community, that used to be like one of our monikers. Facts over feelings. It don't matter how you feel. We just talking about the facts. Now, the mainstream media propaganda is working in our community, and it's having a profound effect. Because if someone comes up and says, all the people are telling me, oh, Trump is a pedophile. I could bring them up here. They couldn't give you proof. We had a couple of shows where I was like, just come up and give me the evidence you have that Trump is a pedophile. And even if Trump is a pedophile, let's say he is. Okay, we have proof that Bill Clinton was on Epstein Island assaulting women. We have proof that Prince Andrew was on Epstein Island assaulting women. We have proof that Eric Swalwell has raped and assaulted women. We have proof that Joe Biden took baths with his 14-year-old daughter. Why aren't you guys as up in arms and about that? Why isn't Cole Thomas Allen going after those people? We have proof that Bill Gates went to Epstein Island, assaulted women, and brought a STD back to his wife. We have proof of that. But do you notice how these people who are like, Trump's a pedophile, they don't want to do anything to those predators? Do you notice that? Eric Swalwell slept good last night. A whole predator who was going to become governor of California, who had to step down, who Nancy Pelosi, his mentor, told, you need to step down, because she even knows that he's guilty of what he's being accused of. I'm just asking her. No, I don't want to hear arrest them all, SEMA 668. I don't want to hear that. CMA 68. Go to their house and camp out in front of their house the way you guys do Supreme Court judges when they make a ruling that you don't agree with. If you don't agree with these radical liberals, you know what they do. They come to your doorstep. They act a damn fool because they feel like you're violating our rights, right? You guys get up and go outside for no kings. They'll protest Trump for no kings, right? He's a pedophile. He's this and that and the third, right? They'll protest that. But then when it's time for them to go and stand up and protest against the Democrats and the liberals that they support and love, oh, just arrest them. Nah, go show out. Go show out. I want to show you guys something. See, notice how the story changes, y'all. Notice how the story changes. When we were talking about when they were talking about the abortion issue, all these different things, right? Look, let me tell you, this is why I'm telling you that this Cole Thomas Allen kid, he was an absolute hypocrite. There's no way I could ever support him because he didn't go after the predators that were right in his own backyard, but he says he's going to go handle the predators in Washington. Bull crap. Clean up your own backyard first, then go try to outsource. You know, go contract out your services. Let me show you guys something. This was 3 years ago, but it's very relevant today.
Home of Justice Brett Kavanaugh is now cracking down on threats of violence against Supreme Court justices. Montgomery County, Maryland, home of Justice Brett Kavanaugh, is now cracking down on protests outside of his house. They began in May following a leaked draft opinion signaling the court was willing to overturn federal abortion protections. Tom Dempsey is live at the Supreme Court to explain what steps local law enforcement is now taking. Tom?
Hey, good morning, Mitch. Yeah, this morning, police in the county where Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh lives say they really support peaceful demonstrations. But if any further picketing or protesting and big gatherings happen outside the homes of Supreme Court justices, people could face arrests, and that's due to local laws. Look, we saw a lot of these protests and gatherings, especially after that draft opinion got leaked back in early May over Montgomery County, Maryland. The gatherings continue.
I want to show you guys this. Look at these people. These are Democrats when they were going against the Supreme Court justices when they thought the Supreme Court was going to overturn Roe v. Wade, right? So we know that if they're really against something, they show up in numbers, they will go to the person's house, they will get on the sidewalk, they will have bullhorns and everything else, and they will act a fool. That's what they will do. They're about that action, right? Why aren't they in front of Eric Swalwell's house? Women have video evidence that he assaulted them. Why aren't they in front of Anthony Weiner's house, who is making California less safe for our women and children on a daily basis? Because the truth of the matter is, it's all selective outrage. And if you fall for it, you're just an idiot. And that's what Cole Thomas Allen is. He's just a hypocritical idiot who got brainwashed by white liberal Karens, and he threw his life away. He threw his life away. Why aren't these people in front of Bill Gates' house? I'll wait. Why aren't these people in front of Bill Clinton's house? They're doing nationwide No Kings protests about Trump screaming that he's a pedophile and a dictator and a rape. This is what they're doing, but they're not doing it for anybody else. This is a perspective that has not been discussed or explored on any other social media channel. They're letting predators get a pass while claiming to do things against Trump to defend because he's a predator. It's bull crap. I call it bull crap 100%. And none of them can explain it. None of them can explain it. Tell me. They were ready to go in protest in front of the homes of Supreme Court justices because of Roe v. Wade. But they found out that Bill Clinton was on Epstein Island, brought his wife back an STD, and tried to hide it. And that's it. It was a one-day story. He went and testified before Congress, and that was it. But let's get Trump. Let's get Trump. No. We're not going to let you touch Trump. We're not going to let your hypocritical hands touch the president because you're not righteous. You're not fair. It's not justice. It's mob outrage. Purely subjective. It's only directed at certain people while other people get away with it. Rules for thee, but not for me. I'm just keeping it real with you. And a lot of people can't handle this channel because we just keep it real over here. We ain't over here trying to prove nothing to nobody. We're trying to show you the facts. Cole Thomas Allen traveled to Washington based on his own manifesto claiming that he was doing it to defend victims. That's what he said. He was doing it to defend victims of assault, right? I want to show you guys something. So if you look, this kid, he had a manifesto, right? Look, this is what he said. He said, I am a citizen of the United States of America. What my representatives do reflects on me, and I am no longer willing to permit a pedophile, rapist, and traitor to coat my hands with his crimes. So he's not going to let the pedophile, rapist, traitor in Washington coat his hands, but he'll let the pedophile, rapists, traitors, pedophile protectors in California, because he's from California, LA County like me, to paint his hands. If you look, every way you look at what this kid did, he was just a hypocritical idiot. I'm sorry. And I understand there's a certain amount of responsibility that falls on the black community concerning this. But ultimately, no. Let me look. And then he voted for he voted for Kamala Harris, right? Which is funny. He not only voted for her, he not only voted for her, he donated to her campaign. You in a state where biological men are allowed to compete in women's sports. He did nothing. In a state where 50 biological males have been allowed to enter into women's prisons, they're raping these women, they're assaulting these women, they're doing all sorts of heinous acts, right? Right? He did nothing. Bro's trying to make it seem like he's this like moral activist, right? But the reality is he's just a brainwashed, ignorant moron. He did nothing to stop the violations that were going on in the state. But then he says, my representatives represent me. Well, Cole, brother, you have a bunch of representatives in the state of California who are doing all sorts of crazy stuff, and they represent you. They represent you. What did you do about it? Nothing. That's why I do give credit to this one lady, Tish Hyman. She's a woman who stood. She is from New York, but she's an actress. She's from New York, but she lives in California. And she found out of all the crazy stuff going on with the transgenders in California. The stuff that's backed up by the California politicians. She actually went to a town hall, right, to confront Anthony Weiner, and this telling him how she was assaulted in a bathroom of a Gold's Gym by a transgender, a man trying to dress up like a woman, and all he said to her was, transgender women are women. He offered no protection. Where the hell was Cole Allen when Tish Hyman was being assaulted? That's my question. Where was he? Since my representatives represent me, and I can't let my hands be coded by what they do. Where were you, Cole? You were a grown-ass man at that time. But you didn't want to do anything because it ain't about what's right. It ain't about right and wrong. It's about political leanings. Hold on, let me.
What's going on? Yeah, what's going on?
Oh shoot! Why did she?
Don't take credit for the.
Why did she just put music? Hold on, I want to show you guys this video. Why? I want to show you guys a video of what happened with this lady, and the whole time you watch this video, I want you to ask yourself, where was Cole Thomas Allen, the guy who said? And this is all the stuff she did. She's a very successful actress, man. She's very successful, and I appreciate that she, took a stand on this issue, because it's not right.
Like it's okay. It's not okay.
A popular singer-songwriter claims she was booted from a Gold's Gym in Los Angeles after getting into a heated
This a grown-ass man, dog. This is a grown man. Why is he in the bathroom at Gold's Gym, the women's dressing room at Gold's Gym, talking about he's transgender?
Camera confrontation with a transgender woman she had filed complaints against for using the women's locker room. The controversy exploded when Tish Hyman posted a video of a brief shouting match with the transgender gym-goer, who was dressed in all black and accessorized with a pair of dangling earrings.
No, now he knows how to be a man, right? Now he knows how to be a man. Stay out of the women's locker room. He needs to have his gym membership revoked for that. And the woman told you. He assaulted me. The girl told already. We already filed reports. You can't get rid of me for this. I'm a woman and I have every right to not want a man in the restroom when I'm naked. There are girls naked in there. Look at them walking in there like it's okay. It's not okay.
In her Instagram post, Hyman alleged to her 250,000 followers that she and other women at the gym filed, quote, written reports on this man for coming into our women's locker room, harassing us. Hyman was escorted to the front of the gym moments later, where she claims that her membership was revoked. In a video filmed by a passerby, Hyman could be seen reaming out the gym staff shortly before she was booted from the facility.
Man! Grown!
TMZ as Alexis Black, who broke.
Look at this dude. This is a man. Where was Cole? I cannot let what my representatives do coat my hands. Your representatives are allowing this. Your representatives in California. Cole, you're in Torrance, California. You're 10, 15 minutes away from where I am in Long Beach, California. If what Cole did, if what he said based on his manifesto is true, right, then Cole should have already been in jail, because he should have went and took these dudes out and the politicians that support them a long time ago. But he didn't. He didn't. Now, let me show you this. So Tish Hyman, she goes to the town hall for, I think his name's not Anthony Weiner. I think it's Scott Weiner. But Anthony Weiner's another politician, but I like the sound of Anthony Weiner more than Scott Weiner. I think this guy's Scott. They never say his name. Senator Weiner. I think he's Scott Weiner. Let me just make sure, because he's not a senator from my region. Yeah, he's Scott Weiner. He's not from my region. He's more up north. But she goes to Bro's town hall to tell him what happened and how he needs to help protect women. This dude basically said, screw women. Trans women are women.
As the only black lesbian here, can I please ask you a question, because I flew here to do that? Yeah. Okay. As a lesbian woman who was attacked in the women's locker room at Gold's Gym this week by a self-identifying trans woman with a documented history of domestic violence, I'm deeply concerned about women's safety in female-only spaces. What would you say to women who are seeking assurance that their safety will be protected from men who, by California law, can self-ID as women in women-only spaces, sir? Please tell me.
Yeah, so we want, everyone to be safe.
And we also know that we have trans people, both men and women, who are men and women, and so so if you're trans women are women.
Senator, you've done great things with the bills you've passed with the housing. I've read a lot of your bills, and like you said, there are bills that need to be opened up, and I'm telling you now, millions of women across America are being harassed and sexually assaulted in locker rooms. I'm a lesbian black woman. I'm not transphobic. I'm not homophobic. And I do respect a lot of the things you've done. But I do see a lot of these bills that you've passed that are dangerous for women and young children. And I understand that you're trying to be on a level playing field. And I'm here to represent my community because I hear a lot of things about my community in these bills. And I'm telling you as a woman, first and foremost, that this is dangerous and we need your help because you're in the office, you're gonna go in the Polisky spot. I wanna support you. I have millions of people behind me watching this right now. And we wanna know, are you going to protect women? Not trans women, trans women are different things. Women. Listen, we need to protect women's safety. I was assaulted.
Women are women.
I was assaulted. No, they are not. They are men. I was assaulted by one. He broke his wife's jaw so bad she needed reconstructive surgery. I'm a lesbian. I'm not transphobic and I'm black. So if there's another black woman in here who wants to tell me how they feel, please join in. But all of you are not. And I don't know who you are, what you are, but I'm a lesbian and I'm telling you right now, men are harassing women in the locker room.
Let's let him answer the question.
I'm just telling you.
Let him answer the question.
No, just let's.
Now I'm done. And by the way, I respect what you have done. I just want to let you know that.
Let's give the senator the opportunity.
I'm done.
I appreciate your point of view.
Thank you.
I'm so sorry that you were harassed,
Multiple times.
and I appreciate you talking about it. I think we need to protect the safety of all women, and that obviously that's incredibly important. And I also know that trans women are also brutalized in this country. So women and cisgender women are brutalized in this country, and we have to protect the safety of all women.
We have to protect women. We cannot be raped in the bathrooms by men that want to say they're women. They're not women. They're not women. I'm leaving. It's okay, but I'm not going to take it. I am leaving because you know what? You guys are not protecting women. You're doing a lot. The bills that you're passing for the law, I read a lot of them. They're great. But this things with the trans, it's not right.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you. And my name is Tish Hyman. You heard me, sister? All right. Don't let them use our blackness and our civil rights.
Did you guys really think, I mean, talking to Tish, right? Tish the dish. Did you really think that this dude right here was going to take your side? I don't know why they won't let me show his head. But did you truly believe, my sister, that this dude was going to take your side against trans? But pay attention. Pay attention. Where was Cole Thomas Allen? Where was he? That is a senator who told a woman who was assaulted in Gold's Gym women's locker room by a quote unquote trans woman. Women are women. Trans women are women. A man who broke his wife's jaw, has a history of domestic violence, a violent man being allowed into the women's locker room at Gold's Gym. Not to mention the 50 trans women who are really men just dressed up as women who have been allowed into California prisons where they are currently raping women, assaulting them, and impregnating them. So you traveled all the way to Washington to kill Trump because he's a pedophile, rapist, and all that, but you didn't travel 8 hours away to Sacramento to get Wiener? Pause. It's all hypocrisy. I'm sorry, Cole. Your own manifesto proves that you're just a hypocritical piece of crap, dude. And I don't support him. Okay, so we got Cole Allen's hypocrisy out the way. Now, hold on one second. Okay, so now we need to switch gears and talk about the Louisiana The Louisiana governor. This story makes me laugh because bro is just the way he talks. But Jeff Landry is the 57th and current Republican governor of Louisiana. He assumed office on January 8th, 2024. He previously served as the Louisiana Attorney General and as a U.S. Congressman. Landry's administration focuses on pro-growth, economic policies, education reform, and strict law and order. Basically, y'all, Landry, his words, well, not exactly his words, but what I deduced from his words, Landry is fed up with YNs, bro. Landry is fed up with YN culture. He's sick of it. He's had enough. He's done with them. And I want to play this. I want to play his video where he's talking. And it all stems from the death of a 17-year-old girl at the hands of a rapper. Why am I not surprised? Why am I not surprised? A rapper has killed a 17-year-old girl, and the black community in Louisiana is rallying around this rapper. Old Tyrone didn't do nothing Smith is at it again, y'all.
Well, breaking news at this hour, Baton Rouge police say investigators arrested a 17-year-old in connection with a deadly mass shooting at the Mall of Louisiana. Authorities are also searching for a second suspect.
Police also identifying two victims. A 17-year-old Martha Odom was killed. She was a senior at a high school in Lafayette. And we're learning that a 43-year-old is in critical condition.
Chris Welty is live in Baton Rouge, where officials released new information. Chris.
Yeah, we now know the 5 people that were detained last night were released because the police chief here says that they simply did not have enough information to arrest them at this point. Today, the Mall of Louisiana remains closed. As investigators process the scene, Baton Rouge Police Chief TJ Moore says the suspect, 17-year-old Markel Lee, faces 1 count of first-degree murder, 5 counts of attempted first-degree murder, and 1 count of illegal use of a weapon.
This is the kind of violence that we end up with when we engage in those kinds of policies. And I'm asking the legislature to go back and look at the laws. In fact, people that go into common places and decide to engage in that kind of violence, we should put them away for life. I'm done with them. It doesn't matter how old they are. Somebody has failed. It's not the government's job to raise these people. It's common sense not to go into a public space with a gun and start shooting around blindly. We got 18,000 acres at Angola. If it's up to me, I'd send them all there for the rest of their lives.
Hey, man. Hey, man. Shout out to Governor Landry, man. Shout out to Governor Jeff Landry. He sound like somebody mama. He definitely proves that a Southern accent ain't just a black thing for sure. He said, I'm sick of them. He said what everybody is thinking. He is finally saying what everybody is thinking. He is fed up with these hug-a-thug policies. He's not blaming it on society. He's not blaming it on slavery, right? That's what they do. Oh, slavery, right? Black folks talking about some slavery made somebody do something. Do you know how ignorant you got to be to sit up and try to blame slavery for the way black folks are acting? Do you know how ridiculous you have to be to do that? Slavery. These people ain't been nowhere near no damn slavery, and they're blaming that for dudes shooting up the neighborhood in the school. He's not blaming that. He's blaming the people who are to blame. The parents, the lawyers, the activist judges in these black communities. And he has every right to be angry that they create a revolving door for criminals until they commit the most heinous acts that force us to lock them up for the rest of their life. And when they get locked up for life, they don't stay in there. They fight every day, tooth and nail, to get these thugs out. Here's the reality. A massive segment of Black America will defend violent criminals and thugs all damn day long. Then turn around and claim moral superiority over someone like Donald Trump or a Republican or a white person. We'll march for a repeat offender to be released from jail, but we won't march for the victims that this criminal leaves behind. We complain about crime, but only when it's at our front door. We complain about crime, but only when it affects us individually. On a communal level, we support policies that enable and protect the very people who are destroying our neighborhoods. You cannot demand safety while simultaneously protecting the person who's holding the gun to your damn face. We talk about systemic issues, but the most systemic issue we face right now is our culture that prioritizes the comfort of the criminal over the life of the citizens and over the life of their victims. It's literally time that we stop choosing hug a thug policies over our community. If you want to be better, if you want to have a community that heals from all this trauma, you have to stop coddling and enabling the people who are burning your community down. Whether you like it or not, you could be mad at me. You could say whatever the hell you want. I don't give a damn. We're going to continue to speak the truth, and it's going to continue to hurt your damn feelings until you get so tired of being hurt that you start standing up for what's right. If you stand up for what's right, you feel no pain after a while. It might hurt initially because the thug's going to try to break your legs. You got women and men sitting up, free the homie fast. Free the homie fast. Well, did the homie actually do what they accused him of? Because if he did, you need to keep his ass in jail.
Well, this is getting a lot of attention. I'm reading about it everywhere. I know you've been very busy doing interviews. I think, first of all, I want to make clear, you say the city did not split away from Baton Rouge, but you incorporated a new city. What's the difference?
So this is talking about a situation where a Louisiana town wants to separate. The white people in the town on the nice side, there's black folks too. The whites and blacks on the nice, peaceful side, they want to incorporate and separate and become a whole new town from the side on the other side where violence is running rampant and the YNs are turning it into the Wild Wild West. And as the white folks and the blacks who got sense fight to separate, the blacks on the other side in the ghetto who enable the criminals, who celebrate and protect the criminals, they're complaining, talking about they want to separate because of racism. No, fool, they want to separate for safety. They tired of y'all being able to just come do crime in their neighborhood, and the police and the mayor and everybody else just conveniently ignore it to protect criminals, and then the criminals get to go on back to the safety, the relative safety of their own ghetto, rundown, bombed out community. They're tired of it. They want to live in, you should be glad that they don't just jump up and move out of the damn state. They want to separate. You have cities in LA, same thing. You got Compton, and then you got Paramount. Paramount is a nice city where people want to build lives and families. Compton is a rundown ghetto where all Negroes want to do is do drugs and gangbang. Those Mexicans separated themselves from Compton, and that's where Paramount came from. We tired of that mess. People are tired. They deserve to be tired. They have a right to be tired. And it makes you really tired when people at the highest level of the government are constantly trying to pass law and legislation so that the criminals could keep on committing crime.
Well, for the last 60, 70 years, our area in East Baton Rouge Parish has been an unincorporated area, meaning our tax dollars are taken from our area and put in the East Baton Rouge Parish General Fund. Now, a parish is our Louisiana way of saying a county. We've never been a city before. We're no different than any other area where people have come together and voted to form their own city. So that's all we did was exercise our constitutional rights to form a city, to vote, and to self-govern.
But it stirred up a lot of talk. And I think the one being, and I want you to clarify this, is this was a racist move, that most of the people in St. George are white, most of the people in Baton Rouge are black. Was this racist? Address that criticism.
Well, no, it's a divisive narrative that's created for people not to look beyond the surface of the issue. The issue was we have high taxes, we have high crime, we have one of the worst education systems in a country state ranked dead last in education, and we want more opportunities. And citizens have been fleeing our parish for decades now. We're declining in population. Our effort was to stay in the parish and save the parish. We're not leaving. We're actually trying to make our parish better.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I don't blame.
Nobody blames him. I already know Greg is going to agree with what I'm saying. Nobody blames him. How can you blame somebody for wanting to be safe? That's my question. How can you blame somebody for wanting to be safe? It's wrong to want to be safe. It's wrong to want to protect your damn children. That's wrong. Only in the black community. Only in the black community is it racism and bigotry to want to protect your kids from a culture that worships and celebrates violence. Only in our community. Is it racist to want to separate from a community that worships and celebrates violence? And people that say something like, oh, the black community the white folks do more violence than anybody. But do you want me to tell you what's different about other communities in the black community? You want me to tell you why people have a special type of hatred for the black community? Because the black community, the black community is the only community that actively defends the most degenerate criminal element within its community. The black community is the only community on earth, and I've been around the world, that actively defends the most heinous, violent citizens within it. I'll give you an example. Carmelo Anthony in Frisco, Texas. This boy pulled out a knife, what would have been maybe a fist fight. He pulled out a knife and stabbed a white boy in the chest, killing him instantly. And within 2 days, black people had raised up over almost $1 million to defend this violent criminal who brought a knife on the school campus, onto school grounds, because the track is owned by the school, and invaded someone else's area for their team, and when asked to move, pulled out a knife and stabbed the dude, telling him to move, in the chest, piercing his heart and killing him instantly. We're the only ones who do that. We're the only ones who would defend somebody like that. Show me, find me a video where whites, Asians, Mexicans, any group is defending somebody who did something like that. You will only find that in the black community. And that's why other groups don't feel safe around you. They don't want their children growing up around you. That's why when you move into the neighborhood, they say, there goes the neighborhood. Not because you individually are bad, not because they're racist against you as an individual, but because they know that even black lawyers and doctors and professionals and college graduates who know better will lower themselves down to the level of a degenerate thug and defend indefensible behavior, inexcusably violent actions.
Innocent people, I want you to know you are now the criminal problem we are focused on. You endanger families, children, and people who were simply going about their day. In the state of Louisiana, along with our law enforcement partners on both the federal and local level, are going to start responding swiftly and decisively. Now, I want to talk directly about our judicial system. You know, judges hold enormous power, but they are not social workers with a gavel. They are the final gatekeepers of public safety. And I'm talking about both at the state level and especially in the Middle District at the federal level as well. People say, we cannot arrest our way out of this problem, and they are right. But we can sentence our way out of this problem. So let me be clear. Judges who continuously release violent offenders back on our streets, who fail to use the full authority of their office to protect the public, are going to be held accountable. When judges refuse to enforce boundaries or consequences, they're not rehabilitating anyone. What they're doing is abandoning young people until a tragedy like this becomes inevitable. And you know what? That's not justice. That's negligence. That's masquerading around as mercy. The people of Louisiana expect judges to uphold the law, to apply serious consequences for serious crimes, and to prioritize the safety of our citizens above all else. If a judge chooses to hand down weak sentences to known violent actors, if a judge decides to turn violent offenders loose with minimal restrictions, if a judge fails to treat gang-driven violence without the gravity it deserves, I am going to call them out individually, publicly, clearly, and directly. And I mean even the federal judges as well. Because when a judge fails to impose the appropriate consequences, that failure should not fall on the state. It should fall on the judge's shoulders. And when they fail to do their job, they put innocent people in danger. I'm asking the legislature for a full, while the session is going on, for a full and holistic review of our sentencing laws. I will support, again, reforms that ensure judges have both the authority and understand the obligation to keep dangerous individuals off of our street. We are no longer going to accept complicity on our bench. Everyone, including judges, will be accountable for public safety. And we're not just, and while we're talking about accountability in action, I'm asking that in coordination with local, state, and federal partners, including all of our law enforcement components, the National Guard, ATF, FBI, US DOJ, I'm asking them to prepare for a targeted warrant sweep focused on the individuals in the neighborhoods that these individuals came out of, or anyone who's connected to this incident. And I'm hoping that in the coming days, we will be executing warrants on every outstanding individual that is tied to this activity.
Okay, so the situation, the argument that's going on here between the governor and different people within these communities is very simple. You have a governor who is openly saying that soft on crime policies are working to help embolden criminals and increasing the crime rate in Louisiana. I don't know if you guys remember, but there was this huge push back in the day to end mass incarceration. they said the Supreme Court ruled that there were way too many people in prison in America, right? So states immediately started to do everything they could to get people out of jail in their respective state. So they start closing prisons down. They started releasing people early before the end of their sentence, etc. Well, there's a problem with that, because what you did is you released a lot of violent criminals back into the community. And what happened was, once the criminals realized that the state was doing everything in its power to keep people out of jail, this emboldened them. They said, shit, I could commit. Man, there was a law in Louisiana. I don't know if it's still on the books, but if you killed somebody, as long as you went and turned yourself in, they would only give you 10 years or less in jail. Do you know how many people would kill somebody and gladly serve less than 10 years in jail? You 15, you kill somebody, you out by the time you 20. You the man on the street. You got all the street cred, the rep and everything else. When I would sit back and talk to my friends, because I have a lot of friends in Louisiana, play football with a lot of them boys. When they would tell me some of the stories about how people were getting killed in those cities over there, me being from LA, I didn't even want to believe it. Dudes getting killed over an argument over a girl at a damn barbershop. Dudes walking out the club, give a dude the wrong look, he spray up the whole parking lot with an AK-47. It's a lawless place. You can't raise a family out there. I don't see how the hell people are even raising children out there. But what I can't see even more, what baffles me or boggles the mind even more, is you have people growing up and living in those towns. They see and hear about the violence, but yet they'll fight the people who want to stop the violence tooth and nail. And what are their arguments? Here's the counter argument to what the governor just said. So advocacy groups and some lawmakers, you know they're black, argue that the problem is not a lack of punishment, but a lack of prevention and investment. One is incarceration rates. Opponents of the governor point out that Louisiana already has one of the highest incarceration rates in the nation. Well, high incarceration rates aren't the issue. The issue is that high incarceration rates aren't a deterrent for the criminals who are committing the crimes. If they're not deterred by high incarceration rates, I think you need to reinstate the death penalty. You have a bunch of people over there with low IQs. A lot of them cannot read. And I'm not saying that lightly. A lot of them cannot read. They dropped out of high school. They're hyper emotional. Ain't no daddy in the home. And they running around with blick, ready to kill at the drop of a dime. Reinstate the death penalty. Kill and be killed. An eye for an eye, and the state government is going to make sure that it happens. The crime rate will drop overnight. You kill him, you gonna die. How about that? They need to reinstitute that death penalty over there, y'all. Then another thing they point out, opponents of the governor point out, groups like Families and Friends of Louisiana's Incarcerated Children, that's a whole name, Families and Friends of Louisiana's Incarcerated Children, argue that the state ignores evidence-based approaches like mental health care and community support, which they believe would be more effective at stopping the cycle of violence than simply building more prisons. Now, let me tell you this. This is how I look at it with the mental health. When the criminals commit crime, that's destroying everybody's mental health. So while you're saying, oh, we need to think about the criminal's mental health, we have to understand the trauma that the criminal is causing on everybody else while he's running the streets, right? Here's the thing. I believe shop owners can already carry in Louisiana, Punch. Here's the issue. When you're a baby and you're born, you don't have trauma. But the more you grow up in a place that's filled with radicalized violent criminals, it induces trauma, right? It makes you messed up. Wouldn't the greatest contribution to the mental health, and the mental safety of the children growing up in Louisiana, wouldn't the most effective approach be to give the death penalty to these YNs and everybody else who take a life? Because those kids will be growing up in a healthier environment and thus wouldn't be subjected to the trauma of having to watch and experience murder and death at a young age. I'm calling for the death penalty, straight up. I'm calling for the death penalty. You out here recklessly shooting and taking life, you need to get the death penalty. Now, if you argue it's in self-defense, okay, you go to trial. Try to prove that. But you have to have a deterrent that they actually fear. You have to have a deterrent. Look at this. Look at this. Shut your dumb ass. I'm dumb. But what did I say? What did I say earlier? The black community defends the very criminals making their community unlivable. We defend it. We love it because it's entertaining to hear about a black man gunning down another black man. You see the people watching No Jumper. They watch the show for conflict. They want to see blacks getting into it with other blacks, Mexicans getting into it with other Mexicans. They like that. They love it. They absolutely love that. This is better than Nick at Night for black folks. And then we'll try to claim the moral high ground. Look, the same black folks who we going against predators. They have a problem with pedophilia, but they don't have a problem with outright murder. They have a problem with pedophilia, but don't have a problem with murder. Ain't that about nothing? Ain't that about nothing? Hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna give y'all the story right here that pissed the mayor, the governor off, because it's a really sad story, and people telling me shut your ass up and all. I want to know what they think about this one. What do you think about this one? 17-year-old killed by a thug, wannabe rapper. Where you think they getting the subject matter for their rap songs? By doing shit like this. But black people are never going to stand up against the criminal element in their community because it's just too entertaining. We identify with the violence. We think the violence makes us tough and strong.
Sylvia, Markel Lee is just 17 years old, and this morning, alongside an attorney, he brought himself into custody. Governor Jeff Landry said today this is a failure that started at home and that anyone involved in yesterday's shooting, he says, deserves life sentences. At 1:22 Thursday afternoon, multiple shots were fired at the Mall of Louisiana. Ascension Episcopal School senior Martha Odom was visiting the mall with her friends. While in the food court, Odom was caught in the crossfire.
We will find you. We will arrest you.
For the second time this week, a mass shooting is making headlines in Louisiana. This time, two groups were shooting at each other. Law enforcement say the shooting could be gang-related.
We're not going to allow our streets, our schools, and our public spaces to become your battleground.
In the aftermath, police detained 5 individuals. Police say at this time, the 5 were not charged with any crime, but remain persons of interest. Police do believe that 17-year-old Markel Lee was involved in the Thursday shooting. Friday morning, alongside an attorney, Lee turned himself in. But police are still searching for this person who they believe is connected to the deadly event.
So I think talking in general, we've been beating around the topic a lot lately. we do have some gangs in Baton Rouge, and those people we're going to be targeting.
At 17 years old, Lee is facing murder along with other charges.
Anytime it involves youth, it hits differently.
Community advocates say the behavior is unacceptable and that it's up to the community to prevent young people from going down this dangerous path.
Everyone needs to step to the table and come and say, hey, what can we do to help eradicate this problem that's happening with our next generation?
And if you would like to watch the entire press conference with Governor Jeff Landry, TJ Morse Jr., our police chief, and Mayor President Sid Edwards, you can find that on our website. That's WBRZ.com. Live outside of BRPD headquarters, I'm Alexis Maroney, WBRZ News 2.
Hey, 1921. Either shut up or bring your bitch ass up here. Shut up. You used to be in a gang. Yeah, but I wasn't shooting up no damn mall. Like, people are so dumb. They think because you used to be in a gang that you was out here doing. This is beyond gang banging. That's what you guys don't understand. This is beyond gang banging. These are heinous acts that even gang members wouldn't commit back in the day. Why are you shooting up the mall, killing little kids and young girls? This ain't got nothing to do with being in a gang. This has to do with a violent criminal culture that has been enabled. This has been enabled. You used to be in a gang, so you can't say anything. Bro, what the hell are you talking about? How many gang members do you really think then shot up the mall and killed innocent young kids? Not many. It's like saying you used to be on a football team, so you got to play. So you must have been a dirty player. No. Yeah, when I was in a gang, I never went looking for nobody to do anything to. But we had people who was after us, you know what I'm saying, for one reason or another. And if we saw them, yes, they asked we get dealt with. But when I was growing up, gang members mostly didn't go around. We had some idiots, but for the most part, we didn't go around looking for trouble. We went to school. We graduated. We went to college, all while being in a gang. You don't know what you're talking about. Especially in my city, our gang violence was mostly race-based, blacks against Mexicans. But that doesn't mean I walked into the damn Mexican market and shot it up. That's ignorant. But that's what we do. We make excuses. That's what 1921 is doing. He's making an excuse. Shut up, Brandon. Don't talk about that dude who's a damn degenerate because you used to be in a gang too. Yeah, just because you're in a gang doesn't mean you have to make bad decisions like that. And I wasn't on drugs. And most of this stuff is caused by being high. Because these dudes get high and suddenly they become Rambo and they tough and they ready to beat everybody. But what I tell you is, like, with our community, one thing leads to another. The same people who claim to be fighting against pedophilia, and what about the kids and all this shit? They work as apologists for the violent criminals, right? And to protect the violent criminals, the laws got to change. And when the laws change to protect the violent thugs, the laws also change for the sexual predators. See? It's like a snowball effect. The more you fight to protect people committing one type of crime, the more you open the door for people committing other type of crimes to get away. If I'm lying, I'm flying. And check this out. Louisiana's soft on crime policies in the same area, Baton Rouge, they are now resulting in rapists and pedophiles being released from jail early. People who hurt children. This happened 6 months ago.
Good evening to you, friends. Welcome here to the News at 6 on this Friday. From the WFBI team, a convict accused of raping a 4-year-old and giving her an STD has a lengthy history of arrests and convictions, raising questions about how he keeps getting out of jail.
The I-team found Anthony Jelks Jr. had just been released from prison at the end of June and is on parole until 2027 for domestic violence-related charges. Our chief investigator, Chris Nakamoto, sat down with the Baton Rouge police chief, who expressed big-time frustration with the revolving door of criminals his officers continue to seek. Chris.
Good evening, Liz and Greg. Jelks had just been released on parole in June of this year, only out for a matter of weeks when investigators say he raped a 4-year-old and gave her chlamydia. Tonight, we went searching for the convict and ran into people who identified themselves to us as his family.
Anthony Jelks is only 25, but is well known to Baton Rouge police, causing problems over the years spelled out in a plethora of paperwork filed with the 19th Judicial District Court.
It's extremely frustrating.
Baton Rouge Police Chief TJ Morse sat down with us Friday, expressing frustration after the same man is now accused of raping a small child.
We've arrested him 6 times over the last 6-7 years. He's everything from firearm charges to domestic abuse, battery, violence.
Yeah, they arrested him because they're a bunch of racists. They arrested him because he's black. They KKK members. They just see a black man out there minding his own business. Tyrone didn't do nothing Smith, and they just want to arrest him and throw him in jail. That's what black folks say. But do you see the point I'm making? When you enable crime in your community, when you defend criminals, repeat offenders in your community, eventually the crimes get worse and worse. This boy was carrying around guns. He was running around with Blick, right? Like y'all say. That went all the way to raping a 4-year-old girl and giving her STD. Hey, guys, do me a favor. We have a super chat challenge. When I say rape, pedophilia, all that stuff, that's getting the video demonetized instantly. Ain't no advertisers jumping on this video. If you guys want to be able to get these news reports, if you want me to be able to speak candidly and not have to use dumbass words like delete and unalive and eliminate and neutralize, please contribute to the channel. Please do your best to help us reach our super chat goals. Right now, we have a challenge, a goal up there, 10 super chat contributions of any amount. Thank you in advance. I appreciate it so much. Let's get back to the show. This guy raped a 4-year-old girl and gave her chlamydia. He's been arrested 6 times. The Louisiana Baton Rouge criminal justice system is nothing but a revolving door where criminals go in and come out better, more hardened criminals. This man went from toting guns to raping 4-year-olds.
Violation of protective orders. He's currently on probation, supervised probation, by probation and parole. So it is definitely somebody we are doing our best to go after. And if anybody out there knows where he might be, please give us a call.
The WAFBI team found court records showing Jelks was arrested in 2020, accused of punching a woman in the face with a closed fist. The charges were dismissed 3 years later. He was then arrested in 2022 for punching another female in the face in front of her children. Bond was set at $30,000. He pled guilty to domestic abuse battery and was sentenced to 6 months in prison. In 2024, he was arrested again, this time for battery on a dating partner and resisting an officer. He was already on probation and placed on a probation hold. He pled guilty to battery of a dating partner and received 6 more months in prison and was released at the end of June. Chief Morse expressing frustration at what he describes as a revolving door of the same offenders.
It is an issue when we're arresting the same people over and over and over again. When earlier this year, we arrested somebody for murder we had arrested them 3 times within a year and a half for either homicide or attempted homicide, and then finally another homicide. And just keep getting out on bonds.
In all of Jelks' arrests, detectives noted his home address at this house on Jackson Street. We went looking for him Friday after this new arrest warrant was issued for him, after investigators say he raped a 4-year-old and gave her an STD. A car pulled up and one female identified herself as Jelks' sister. Arrest documents for Jelks do not imply any of his family members are connected to the rape victim.
Were you aware that your brother has an active arrest warrant out for his arrest?
With the revolving door that appears to exist with defendants coming through court, Chief Morse says a dialogue needs to happen between elected judges, prosecutors, and police so everyone can get on the same page.
So it's definitely an ongoing conversation I'm having with.
Yeah, and that's definitely an administrative issue because these judges got to be letting this dude out, giving him lenient sentences. I would like to know who the head judge is for the Baton Rouge Baton Rouge area or the parish. Let me see. Something is just telling me it's a black female. I don't want it to be. Okay, let me see. Who is it? So the head judge but this guy has a history of domestic violence, beating up on his women and his women and his girlfriends, and now he's out here raping 4-year-olds. I mean, God damn it, man. And how do we? And it pisses me off when I hear black folks defending this stuff. How do you defend this shit? And sit up the Epstein files, God damn the Epstein files. The Epstein files ain't having no impact on the black community. Why don't we have the same like determination and energy to deal with the predators in our own community? Where are you, Cole Thomas Allen, when this dude is doing what he's done? Where are you to get rid of the activist judges who let these dudes go into the community and continue to do what they do? And in a second here, I'm going to tell you exactly why they do it, because I know why they're doing it. So this guy, Wilson E. Fields, this dude looks like he looked like he might be up to something. Look at this Negro. He looked like Scott Wiener in California. Look like this is the head judge of Baton Rouge Parish, Wilson E. Fields. You know he's a Democrat. You just know he's a Democrat, dude. Look at this guy, man. A black man, y'all, presiding over a revolving door for violent criminals. Look at that. But what about the Epstein files? We screaming about the Epstein files with dudes doing Epstein level shit in our own community and getting out like it's nothing. This dude has a record of beating up women, running around with guns, and now he done raped a 4-year-old baby and gave the baby chlamydia and is on the run. Come on now. But you screaming about the Epstein files looking like a damn fool. You got a black man that went to Washington on a train with guns talking about he about to eliminate Trump because he can't let the acts of a rapist pedophile coat his hands. What do you think this does? I don't know a single person in the Epstein files. I don't know a single person who didn't been to Epstein Island. But I know a lot of people with young kids in my community, and I don't want to see that happen to them. We got to get our priorities straight, man. We got to get our priorities straight in our community. Sad. Up, back to the white racist who's trying to keep your community safe, but you won't let them.
The district attorney, Hiller Moore, he's also some of the same frustrations where some people are putting in and even getting released before they have a chance to argue why that person shouldn't be released. And so trying to work with them, trying to get all the judges and now commissioners, because a lot of times the commissioners are the ones setting the bonds, on the same page, where give us a little bit more time so we can tell you why this person should be released or why they should have a higher bond.
With Jokes being a prime example of what Morse is talking about, he's pushing for change to stop the madness.
Extremely frustrating, especially to our detectives that do a lot of work to get these arrest warrants and our officers that then find them. And it's something that we talk about all the time, about low bonds. You know, and some of these things with domestic abuse battery, some of the bonds were $3,000, $15,000 for weapons charges, things like that, which I think are too low. I think that some things need to be looked at.
Investigators noted that Jelks was also in trouble in 2022 for indecent behavior with a juvenile, but there's no record of those charges in Baton Rouge. Here's another look at Anthony Jelks Jr. If you know where he might be, contact Crime Stoppers. You know that number, 344-STOP.
This was just 6 months ago. This was just 6 months ago. Somebody put a comment about acceptance of a rapist pedophile, I think, that took food and health care from black Americans. I mean, Melissa, you can't prove it. You can't prove any of that. You're just saying it. How the hell Donald Trump took health care from you? Is that who you talking about, Donald Trump? He didn't. Your health care is still intact. You're lying. He took food from you. You telling me the money ain't hitting your EBT card? It's still hitting. What are you talking about? We just say anything. Hey, shout out to 1921. He's an asshole, but he's my kind of asshole. He blessed us with a $20 super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That's one down. We got 9 more to go. If you want to contribute to the channel, super chat button is down there. We also have Cash App and PayPal available. Links are pinned to the top of the chat. And yeah. So if you want to do that, handle it. Thank you. But yeah. Obamacare is still moving. What's up, Afro-Cuz? What's up, Vanessa? What's up to all my day ones laughing like Saga? Everybody, if I miss you, Normandy Drive, all y'all in the building. I see y'all. Mean Looks is in the building. All that. Yeah. What do we be talking about? He got rid of health care for black people and food. This lady must be a white liberal. Cause Trump didn't get rid of no damn health care or food for black people. He might have got rid of health care and food for illegal immigrants, but that don't affect us. We're talking about this black pedophile who is allowed to go to jail and get out 6 times in Louisiana, Baton Rouge area. We're talking about how black folks is screaming, what about the Epstein files? While Epstein Black or Epstein Light is running around a community victimizing people. Let me tell you what's stupid. Say Trump was a pedophile and he did get arrested, right? Based on the way our laws are set up, he would get released in 2 months. So it would defeat the purpose. There's no point of screaming about how you are trying to protect women and children. There's no point of trying to assassinate the president like Cole Thomas Allen in the name of protecting children when those pedophiles are going to be released in just a couple of months because of activist judges and soft on crime policies, guys. It defeats the whole purpose. It defeats the whole purpose. He got rid of the junk food. So it defeats the whole purpose of convicting people who assault children if they're just going to get out 3 months later. If they're just going to get out 6 months later. This dude then been arrested for carrying guns, domestic violence, multiple times. This guy has another case in another county of inappropriate acts with a juvenile. And now this raping a 4-year-old girl and giving her chlamydia. He's going to get out again. I don't know why. We're trying to get to the bottom of that. But why are we defending that? Why are we even trying to explain anything or make any excuse for this guy? He's a total freaking bum and a loser. But this is what we do. And I understand why the governor of the state is pissed off. He needs to get those judges in the room and hold them accountable. Yeah, Melissa, you can educate us. The link is always available in the chat to come up here if you want to. You can educate us on what you're saying if it's true, but we do a lot of research over here. Unfortunately, facts don't align with your feelings. Mention the 1 trillion. What 1 trillion? At least encourage people to research facts. No, I always do. But you're lying saying that Trump took food out of black people's mouths and took their health care. This is a lie. It didn't happen. I always encourage people. Your comment got put up there and you didn't even leave a super chat. But thank you. So, guys, yeah. I'm with the governor of Louisiana. Lock these dudes up, man. Fill up Angola with them and keep them there for a while. Give them enough time to sit on their pockets and think about what they've done. But now we got to get to our celebrity tea. Our celebrity tea. There's something going on with Meg the Stallion. The Stallion. I lost a lot of respect for her when she got up at that Kamala Harris campaign rally. Kamala Harris campaign rally and was shaking her ass just shamelessly in the name of getting votes. So maybe I would have felt kind of sorry for her. And I also didn't take her side during the Tory Lanez thing either. I didn't take her side during the Tory Lanez thing either. But apparently, Meg Thee Stallion and NBA player Klay Thompson have split. They've broken up. They're done. She went to Twitter, or she went to, was it Instagram or Twitter? She went to social media, and she was hollering that bro cheated on her. And she brought up the fact that she claims that Klay had her planned house and everything else in front of his family, and then was cheating the whole time and just dismissed her. Let's get into this story.
Megan Thee Stallion fought back tears at curtain call for Moulin Rouge on Saturday night, just hours after the rapper turned Broadway star publicly broke up with her boyfriend of 1 year, Dallas Mavericks star Klay Thompson, for allegedly cheating on her. The emotional viral clip drew 1.9 million views on X and an outpouring of support online. WNBA star Angel Reese of the Atlanta Dream tweeted, "It's the way you show up even while carrying so much. That's what makes you that girl. You always have a little sister riding for you at dawn. I love you, sister." The rapper Monaleo added, "Just a girl carrying the weight of the world. We love you, Meg, even on your darkest of days. Don't you ever forget it." On April 25th, Megan Thee Stallion posted this scathing message on Instagram's story. "Cheating, had me around your whole family playing house, got cold feet, holding you down through all your horrible mood swings and treatment toward me during your basketball season. Now you don't know if you can be monogamous? Bitch, I need a real break after this one. Bye, y'all." Then in a statement to Page 6, she wrote, "I've made the decision to end my relationship with Klay. Trust, fidelity, and respect are non-negotiable for me in a relationship. And when those values are compromised, there's no real path forward. I'm taking this time to prioritize myself and move ahead with peace and clarity." As cheating rumors swirled online, WNBA star Lexi Brown, who plays for the Seattle Storm, took to Instagram to deny that she was the woman Klay allegedly cheated on Megan with. Meanwhile, Meg's ex, Partisan Fontaine, shared a cryptic video of himself singing a breakup anthem, Jagged Edge's 1999 track, He Can't Love You. Megan and Klay seemed like a happy couple just a few months ago. In February, he spoiled her with a $200,000 baby blue Bentley for her 31st birthday. The post has since been removed from her Instagram account.
I mean, damn, like, bro was spending his money on you. Why you? From what I heard, Meg Thee Stallion is broke. She should have been happy to get a little bit of financial relief from Klay, because bro was dropping a bag on this girl. I'm gonna be real with you. He was dropping a bag on this girl, and she didn't know that NBA players were cheaters. She thought because Klay was light skinned, he was a sucker. That's what it really was. Klay light skinned. He came in, spending money on her, and she thought he was a sucker. That's what it is. And when he showed her, like, okay, I'm a man. I'm an NBA player. I'm one of them dudes, right? She was hurt. She was hurt by that. He cheated on her, right?
Bentley.
People are saying that this guy came out and said that she cheated on him first or whatever. But as of now, we have no evidence that Klay Thompson has responded, and Klay Thompson is gonna focus on basketball because that's what sports players do when they go through breakups. They focus on sports. Our people lack conflict resolution skills. This is not something, if she was ever seriously involved with Klay, this is not something that she should have took to social media, because you never know like what could happen as far as like y'all reconciling. And on top of that, it's like, secure the bag, dummy. You're broke. You're not that talented. You're not. Meg Thee Stallion is not going to be rich in 10 years. Trust me. She might be rich if she figures something out, but she's not going to be making money off of rap in 10 years. Not significant. Secure the bag. Ladies, listen, I have 6 sisters. I have 6 sisters. I'm going to tell Meg like I would tell my sister. Well, back to the street, busting it open for all these other dudes trying to figure out which one is the one you didn't got ran through, girl. Burner Boy, Tory Lanez, you name it. Put him in a line. The soccer player. You ran through. At this point, to me, this whole cheating thing cannot be a deal breaker for her. Financial security, long-term financial security is the priority. Having a family should be the priority for Meg Thee Stallion. The coochie been hit every kind of way. And you didn't use the Rose toy till the batteries ran out twice. You still worried about some dick that don't nobody want and where it go? Come on, man. You ain't got a player bone in your damn body, dude. The boy clearly adore you. He worship you. But he's a man. And at the end of the day, a man is going to be a man. That's just the way it is. Temptation will always be present in the life of an NBA player or sport. A regular dude driving a damn milk truck. A nigga delivering dog food to Petco. Temptation will be there. But to sit up and break up and all that, just talk to your man, bro. Y'all clearly got chemistry. You clearly love the nigga like you was on him. He clearly loved you too. He's spending his money on you and not peanuts, which we know you would have took those too because you was happy with little bitty Tory Lanez money. So I know NBA money is on a whole nother level from rapper money. You was cool with Tory Lanez peanuts having threesomes in ignorance. Like, I just don't get y'all females, man. Get off your damn high horse. You ain't no Virgin Mary. Ain't nobody touched this. You done got rant through with a T on the end. Rant through. Dozens of men have had you in the celebrity space. Dozens of rappers know what your booty hole look like. Now all of a sudden, oh, he cheated on me. That's a deal breaker. Respect it. Bro, you just came from a relationship where you was getting shot at. Now all of a sudden, this is a deal breaker. Come on, man. I'm not on Meg's side at all. And I'm not on Klay's side either. But he's a man, so he's a villain, and he knows that. So he ain't worried about me being on his side. Right? You have to err on the side of like intelligence. Get a bag. You know he gonna cheat, so just wait for that and then divorce him and get his money. That's me giving game. That's me giving game. I told y'all I'm gonna treat her like I would treat one of my sisters. But these women walk away from something because they always think they're gonna be able to get it back. You're not always gonna be able to get it back. Look at Lori Harvey looking stupid. Like, come on, girl. Talk to your man. Y'all, a relationship takes work and effort. Her just deal breaker, oh, I'm breaking up with him. She don't want to put the work in. That's why she's a pass around. She's waiting on a dude to sweep her off her feet. And you look, I bet you Eve, the rapper husband, didn't cheated on her. You don't see her taking that to social media. Jay-Z cheated on Beyonce. She didn't take that to social media. That only hit social media because her sister started trying to whoop off in Jay-Z ass inside of an elevator. These women, if you want to be the marrying type, you got to protect the brand. You think Steph Curry ain't never cheated on his wife? You think Aisha ain't never caught Steph cheating? Hell yeah. But she knows that the more she's around Steph, the more famous she gonna be. The more she's gonna be in the spotlight. Y'all got, man, where the old women at? Where the old women at? I don't care what he do as long as I get that paycheck. What happened to those days? It was a fair exchange. I go out and be a whore and you get all my money. Right? I smack some down when I see it and you get my check. Bro was ready to take care of you. Yes, he's a philanderer. He's a cheater. Yeah, he's an NBA player. That's kind of synonymous. But he was ready to take care of you. If Cookie Johnson stayed with Magic Johnson after he caught HIV, girl, you can handle this boy Klay throwing it around a little bit. Nigga got bad knees. He ain't going to be cheating for long. Boy got a ruptured Achilles. He ain't going to be cheating for long. Let him get his last little jabs in. She to me, she fumbled. She fumbled the bag incredibly. She's silly as hell. She's very cute, but she has an overinflated sense of self-worth. That's what you have to know who you are. Now, on the scales of the universe, Meg Thee Stallion is more important than someone like me, right? And yet and still, I wouldn't leave Klay Thompson if he cheated on me. Listen, bro, you cheated. Are you leaving? Is you done? Is that what you're trying to say? Or are we still trying to do something right here? That's what you say to that. And then he'll tell you how he wants to go forward. Period. Like, nah, it was just a one-time thing, mistake. Like, did you just hit it to have fun, or are you in love with this chick? You got to be like Angela Bassett in Waiting to Exhale. While all the time that I was loving you, you were busy loving yourself. I would stop breathing if you told me to. Now you're busy loving someone else. 11 years of sacrifice. See, she sacrificed 11 years. And he would leave her at the drop of a dime. Okay, yeah. So she sacrificed 11 years. So I understood that's Angela Bassett. I get that. You didn't even sacrifice 11 months. Y'all still technically in the dating phase. He bought you shit. And we know that hood rats think that gifts are commitment. We get that. But who's going to treat you like, who going to treat you like Klay? You know what I'm saying? Girl, you already know what side your bread is buttered on. Why are you trying to blow up your shit, trying to save face so a bunch of hood rats on the internet could say, yeah, girl, that part. They will never be in the position you were in. So they can never give you advice or console you. You got lesbian WNBA players. You got a little broke sister who's rooting for you. Man, if you don't shut that shit up, Meg, don't walk. Run back to your man. Make him some biscuits from scratch and blow his socks and shake that big fat ass. Well, it ain't even that big and fat, but shake that ass for bro and just secure yourself and secure your future. Get pregnant, then leave. But she got to be smarter. She got to be smarter. Would you guys give me a rating 1 through 10 on my advice? Everybody who's in the comments right now, give me a rating 1 through 10 on the advice that I gave Meg. Do you think my advice is good on a scale of 1 through 10, or my advice is bad? Then I might start a advice column where I give celebrities who are richer than me advice. She's not. She's really not nothing special, B Queen. She's not. She's mid. 8.5, 10. Okay. Hey, she's mid. Meg Thee Stallion is mid when it comes to like everything. She's rocking weaves. She's thick, but she ain't the thickest. You know what I'm saying? She can rap, but she ain't Cardi. You know what I'm saying? She can rap, but she's probably a notch below like Sexy Red or something. But yeah, no. She's just mid. She ain't no damn, y'all don't even want to know what I be looking at. Woo. There's woo. Now, there's other women, celebrity women, who if Klay had did this too, I'll be going in on, bro. But this is Meg Thee Stallion, y'all. We ain't about to make her nothing more than what she is. But also, these women have not been ran through. These women have not been passed around like a stogie at a damn cigar lounge, dude. They haven't been ridden like the village bicycle. You know what I'm saying? So that's the difference. You do some shit like that to my baby, yeah, I got a problem with you. We got beef. When I see you, it's on sight. But Meg ain't one of those. Meg ain't one of those. Meg is a person who got up and shamelessly twerked her ass for Kamala Harris's failed presidential campaign. It's just not the same. But at the same time, I still love her like a sister, and I'll give her that brotherly advice, man. I'll give her that brotherly advice. Go get your damn man and stop playing. Stop with all the foolishness and go handle your business like an adult. Oh, because respect and da-da-da. Yeah, he respected you when he bought you a baby blue Benz. Because I wouldn't have bought you a baby blue pack of bubble gum, okay? If it was me. If it was because them dudes who you gave it up to before him didn't buy you shit. And you still gave it up, and they got everything you had to offer him. Know your place. Know your place. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Cause like there are people out here, there are women out here destroying Meg Thee Stallion effortlessly. That Klay Thompson could be let. Oh, fact. Hey, Street said didn't buy her bitch ass thing. 100%, Brody. Like for real. Didn't buy her nothing at all. And she talking about respect and so, man, if you don't shut that shit up, didn't even buy you a burrito and was running up in your shit. Stop it. Stop it. Now, there are certain women where if he would have done this too, I would have been like, hey, bro, yeah, you tripping. Yeah, you tripping. But he didn't do that to them because he's with them. He's with you. He knows what he's dealing with. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah. Like, if he would have did that to my baby Coco Jones, I'd have been cursing bro out. I'd have been like, I'd have been screaming. It's on site, bro. Come on.
Get ready with me to drop something off in my...
Come on, dude. Like, if you would have did it to my girl, Lord have mercy. I'd have had to curse you out, Klay. This right here, this is what you call quality. Disney Channel, royalty, not ran through, ain't been passed around.
My ex's house.
You know what I'm saying?
So I didn't do too much to my hair.
This
I
is
just
something
quickly
else.
curled it perfectly, let it set in pin curls, and then
this
brushed
is-
it out. And I wasn't really feeling like doing too much makeup. I have other places to be, so I mean, I'm gonna basically just dust powder over my face just because I get a little oily. And that's just a chapstick. Like,
see, this is an upgrade for Meg Thee Stallion. Everybody in Hollywood don't know what her booty hole look like, and she is way finer.
I just don't like dry lips. I didn't care if my makeup was gonna grab some girl.
That right there, that's body in Meg Thee Stallion. She ain't got shit on Coco. Listen, let's have the talk body count matter. I don't really care about body count. I don't care. I don't care. You know, body count. I'm a thug though. I don't care. Look, I don't care who you was messing with before me, how many, how few, whatever. Oh my God. I was actually gonna look for this picture. But yeah, I don't care about body count. It's not something that naturally comes up in my mind. I just be like, am I getting it? Look, I don't even care. Dude, man, look, I had a dude when we was in high school. He was like, man, I hit that. It was ran through. I hit it. It was tight. Maybe that shit just little. It was feeling tight to me. So that's me, though. I'm a special kind of dude. But yeah, body count does matter to a lot of men.
Groceries after I drop his stuff off. So yeah. Have a great day. Get ready with me to drop something off in my...
So yeah, Meg, you ain't Coco. You ain't, if it was Coco, I know she gonna bounce back. She got her in NFL player. Ain't she about to marry that bastard, what's his face? That dude from the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Spider. Oh, if you want to get wifed, that's another thing. I don't know. I would wife a whore. I don't care. As long as she's not a whore anymore. As long as she's a former, not a current. Oh my God. But what's the dude name? Damian Anderson or whatever his name is. What's his name? Played for the Cavaliers. Donovan Mitchell. I can't stand that one. Ooh, he made me mad. How you going him? Because I feel like I look better than Donovan Mitchell. That's why. Like, marry somebody who I can't. Hey, he's out of my league. He's nowhere near. I mean, bro's out of my league. He's rich. But damn, bro, him? Come on, bro. Him? She gave it up to a sucker, man. Donovan Mitchell, cool. He a good player. I like him. I wish the Lakers would have traded LeBron to get him. He's a beast. I would, in my dreams, I'll dream of him going to the Lakers. So Coco could be out here. Hey, shut your mouth. That sucker married my woman. Well, you know, I have a woman, but my other woman. That's my fantasy woman. Bro, they're engaged. I think they might have got married, bro. Yes. Do you understand where I'm going with this? Donovan Mitchell is hitting that. And she could sing so good. Oh, my God. Oh. Listen, man, I have a thing for women who could sing. I just lay on their lap if they coochie not stinking, and just be like, sing to me, baby. And they just sing like, you know, I love her. Listen, Coco Jones is one of them women, you see him on a video and you're like, I could have been with her. Her whole personality is just, that's all me. Like, yes, all that. All of that. You know, every time I talk about her, I just want to listen to her music, man. Is that my fault? Is it wrong? Is that wrong of me? Am I doing too much? They might be dealing them. Ooh, they got a good ass team though. I can't see them getting rid of him, but I don't know about the ins and outs. Yeah, they engaged, man. Lucky mofo. Oh man. I'm hating on that nigga. I ain't gonna front. I'm hating on this man. Straight up. To me, she the baddest in the game. She the baddest in the game. Beyond Cardi and all them, Coco is the baddest in the game to me. And if you don't agree, screw you, and we're listening to her.